You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Our reporters are on the ground in Baltimore, Maryland. We'll have more coverage live tonight. They're also going over to the Walmarts where they're refusing to sell ammo to people to protect themselves. We've also got a collection of Twitter photos and images and videos from the streets of Baltimore, the images that the media doesn't want you to see, pictures and footage you won't see on TV. Baltimore citizens are done with mindless rioters, and of all races, colors, and creeds, they're coming together. And that is the last thing the White House wants. They want absolute balkanization, but then they can also then grandstand and act like that they're trying to de-escalate the situation as well. But a lot of powerful photos and videos up there on the site. Other good news, GMOs getting pulled at more and more major institutions. We'll cover that in the next segment. The bad news is our economy is being purposely consolidated, vertically integrated, collapsed, because they know you're voting with your euros and your dollars and your yen and your yuan and your shekels and your rubles to have more choice, to have higher quality. Big globalist institutions from McDonald's to Coca-Cola are in trouble. When you get internal memos from Bilderberg, as we have, it's all about controlled, integrated economies to basically get the general public on welfare so they're dependent, and then you only have folks that work for corporations, and soon the military won't even have jobs because it's going to be robots and drones and autonomous computers that run it with central war planners that program the attack profiles. So, again, major tectonic, geopolitical, sociological, cultural mass shifts going on everywhere. Why the future doesn't need us? Because the establishment doesn't want us and thinks we're ugly and stupid. And they sit up there in their ivory towers built on the ashes and the bones and the hard work of the people and then think they don't need the public. As if the elites are going to build a system not meant for 90% of the world, as if they won't end up being chewed up by this technocratic terror that they're building. So to quote Darth Vader, don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. You dig a pit, you end up falling into it yourself. In fact, I've got it here in my stack that Tyson's going to phase out antibiotics. McDonald's is getting rid of it. But really, they're just saying the type humans take, but at least it's a step in the right direction so that it won't create mutations in bugs that supposedly affect humans. But variants of the same antibiotics will still cause the same problem. At least on the surface, though, they're trying to act like they're changing to lure you back in to eat their food. Chipotle and others are announcing it. Dreyer's Ice Cream, Bluebell. I mean, there's announcements every few days now. Thousands of companies. I mean, you go to the store now, even mainline stores, and we're organic. We don't have high fructose corn syrup. You know, we've got vitamins infused. But is it organic? Is it non-synthetic? We have David Breckler joining us, who, if you're not a nutraceutical insider, you probably don't even know who he is, but he is the vitamin man. I'm dubbing him that. He didn't do that himself. He's going to be in studio with us talking about some really positive things that are happening. Guys, can you print me the ABC or London Guardian from yesterday about them saying take the fluoride out of the water as well, the government? I mean, a huge victory, but we're still getting called kooks saying it's bad for you. No, the truth is we're winning. Humanity's winning. And if we fight for ideas and fight for liberty and fight for choice and don't fight over race or whether you're a cop or you're not a cop and stop hating each other like the central systems want, we can have a new renaissance. Because the darker it gets, the more bright that light is. And you are one of those lights. People say, what is that, George Herbert Walker Bush, Illuminati 1,000 points of light? They always take everything that's already true and it's God's creation, and they create a counterfeit. But we are billions of points of light.
CNN captured live footage of a peaceful but well-known activist being abducted in Baltimore, yet they failed to point it out or report on it. There was outrage on Twitter that CNN wouldn't report on what their own camera had shot. The activist, Joseph Kent, told Baltimore City paper last November, "Everyone knows me already for making sure everything is running peacefully." A local pastor described him as Martin Luther King with tattoos and gold fronts. The clip shows Joseph Kent in front of a line of cops and National Guard troops before a Humvee slowly drives toward him. The Guard troops rush out from the line, grab Kent, and the vehicle is used to block the news cameras from seeing anything else. Kent was likely arrested for violating the 10 p.m. curfew, although there were hundreds of others who did the same and were not arrested. Was Kent abducted simply because he's a prominent activist and organizer? This would not be the first time that's happened. See the clip and the full story at Infowars.com. Tell us what you think. For Prison Planet TV, I'm David Knight.
What lies at the heart of Infowars and everything we do? At the core is fellow human beings of every race, color, and creed across the United States and the planet that believe in personal liberty. And it's people like you that have promoted the radio broadcast to their friends and family. It's people like you that have bought the high-quality products at InfoWarsStore.com that have made everything we do possible. And that's why I want to salute you. You have helped us build this operation. You don't stand beside us or behind us or even in front of us. You stand at the heart of InfoWars. That's why in the month of April, we're offering some of the biggest specials yet to introduce listeners to these high-quality nutraceuticals at InfoWarsLife.com. 50% off high-quality colloidal silver bullet. Buy 2 X2 nascent iodines. Get 1 fluoride shield absolutely free and free shipping. 50% off silver bullet. Free shipping. Free bottles of fluoride shield detoxer. Find the specials at InfoWarsLife.com. Hi, I'm Alex Jones. When I got on air 20 years ago, I weighed 180 pounds. I lift weights 5 days a week. I could swim 2-3 miles. Then I discovered the New World Order, the globalists, their agenda. I started an Access television show. I was so dedicated to my work and hanging around with radio guys that I began drinking. I began smoking cigars and then even cigarettes. I transformed from looking like a white Bruce Lee to looking like a Jabba the Hutt. So I began a journey 5 years ago to shed the almost 100 pounds. I started taking Super Male Vitality and saw dramatic results in just a few weeks. When I added to the mix the key products developed by Dr. Group for InfoWarsLife.com, the results were incredible. Take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge today at InfoWarsLife.com or give our crew a call. They can answer all your questions or tell you about any of the specials at 888-253-3139. Tyranny?
You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
Well, we've got David Breckler for the balance of the hour in studio with us. He's a nutraceutical industry expert, CEO, one of the biggest companies out there, and consultant to multi-billion-dollar supplement companies, who's worked with top manufacturers and stores over the past 20 years, including Whole Foods, Vitacost, Sprouts, Swanson Health, Vitamin Shop, and many others. Now, David uses his expertise in the field to help formulate the most high-quality nutraceuticals for the InfoWars Life brand as well. We're very excited about him helping us out with at least 4 of our products. 20 years in the nutraceutical industry as a consultant to billion-dollar supplement companies, works with top manufacturers and stores, including Whole Foods, natural approach versus big pharma drugs, the difference. And we went to him when we wanted to continue to expand our line and have the cleanest, the best. In fact, I told him when I knew you could come to town 2 weeks ago, and I think we probably forgot and didn't do it, but some of the tests are up on Infowars.com and InfoWarsLife.com. We send them off to all the big, testers, even though you guys test it. We've been sending your products and some of the others off, and they go, we never see this. It's even below California standards. There's nothing, no contaminants, which is supposedly impossible because there's, parts per billion of anything in the air. So we've been seeing some bizarre results. And I told Anthony weeks ago we should do a whole report showing those. We're going to do that soon because they're like thinking it's the Twilight Zone now at this point. With some of our products that have like 15 ingredients and there's nothing in there. These spectrometers or whatever can find nothing bad. I mean, that is unprecedented. And this is not an infomercial for InfoWarsLife.com. Even though we fund ourselves, I'll probably plug it 2 or 3 minutes this hour. I wanted to actually do something other talk show hosts don't do, and actually bring you industry experts in here like David Breckler, who I would call the vitamin man or Mr. Nutraceutical. You've got the Food Babe and stuff like that. You got the Health Ranger, but we've got Mr. Vitamin here with us. We're going to talk about the difference between true and junk supplements, fake vitamins, quality control, mainstream medicine's failure to address the root issues with toxic medicines, how mainstream medicine was made popular, the original health conspiracy, natural approach versus big pharma drugs, how to identify if you're being sold junk. We use one of the top herbal identifiers in the world. And so, David Breckler, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, Alex, it's an honor to be here. Long-time listener.
It's an honor to have you. And we're also going to get into this. U.S. lowers fluoride levels in drinking water for the first time in 50 years, showing problems with cancer, brain damage, teeth fracturing, fluorosis. Everything the alternative health groups and vitamin groups have been saying, the ones that care, a lot of them just, put out crap and aren't politically involved because the government will come after you, but you've been politically involved. We salute you. How big a victory is this? How big a victory is Tyson, McDonald's, Chipotle, all the last 3 weeks saying we're going to get rid of the human antibiotics. We're going to get rid of the human, bovine growth hormone, synthetic. I mean, every day we're seeing victories that years ago would have been off the chart, to the point of I almost didn't even say anything yesterday. Oh, look, they admit fluoride's killing you. They're cutting it by half. This is a devastating victory. And it's because their own scientists, almost to a person, have been raising hell. Excuse me, I'm ranting. It's so good to have you here.
All right, thanks a lot, Alex. And congratulations. The fluoride victory has a lot to do with this program.
Really?
It does. You're spreading the message more than anybody. And, we really believe that health freedom and political freedom go hand in hand. And this issue is a great example of it. Here's a situation where the political side of it can actually start to positively affect people's health. And the fluoride in the water is one of the most dangerous things going on right now. It's absolutely criminal.
Well, the reason I get so excited is every time humanity fights, we turn things around. But 95% of people aren't getting involved because they think they've got to fix it all themselves. No, you've just got to change the way you live. I mean, I'm still not that healthy, but I've lost 60-something pounds. I look a lot better, and in a couple years, or I'll be back to what I was when I was 20.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a process.
Yeah, absolutely. Affluent and smart people are not drinking tap water. They're just not. They're drinking good, high-quality bottled water. But we need that for everybody. Everybody should get it. And I would say that the next victory is to get the fluoride out of the water completely. That'll be the next step. And
as a major CEO, how big a deal is it, this happening?
Huge, huge. Because like you've been saying for years, they've never medicated a whole society through the drinking water. And they can't control the dosing. And the equipment that actually puts the fluoride in the water breaks and has failures all the time. So even though they're lowering the amount of fluoride, they're still having catastrophic failures.
Well, sure. Well, the hydrofluorosilicic acid, as you know, gets supercharged into an acid. It's not calcium fluoride that you need a little bit of. And it's like alien blood from Alien. It literally eats through multi-fluors one drop.
Exactly.
That's why the equipment is just...
That's why it's breaking. It corrodes the equipment that they use to inject it into the water.
They wear spacesuits to mess with it.
To handle it. No, it's unbelievable they're putting that in the water. It really is.
But here it is. Oh, my gosh, they're cutting half of it out the water. They've banned it to be used as a pesticide because it bioaccumulates. I mean, that is a victory.
Yeah, one of the crux of the issues with the fluoride, too, is that, there's never been one double-blind controlled study that actually proves that ingesting fluoride lowers dental cavities. And they use the research that comes from the topical use of fluoride to substantiate the oral ingestion of it. So one day I called the ADA to find out where are the studies. And they called me back and they said, hey, tough luck, go find your own studies. So here it is, the ADA doesn't even have one study that shows the fluoride in the drinking water lowers cavities.
But we have is Harvard 3 years ago looked at 25, and every one of them found IQ reduction, you name it. And then we have hundreds of studies on bone cancer. We have it all.